Emerson Mnangagwa summoned editors for what was supposed to be a moment of clarity, a bold and decisive statement on his future, a Churchillian declaration of democratic integrity. But what did we get as a nation? A performance worthy of an Oscar in political deception. He stood before them, all serious, and said, "I'm not going beyond my term." Sounds solid, right? Well, not so fast. Because the moment he was asked if he could be persuaded to stay longer, he dropped what might go down as the slipperiest line in Zimbabwean political history. "I will persuade my persuaders not to persuade me." Let's take a look at what actually happened.
I'm a constitutionalist. My 2 terms, when they come to an end, the country and the party will move on by electing my successor. That is clear day. I think those who really are ZANU-PF at heart go by the rules and decorum of ZANU-PF. We have other people who are in ZANU-PF who in themselves are not ZANU-PF, but they dress the ZANU-PF regalia. So you must always see when people talk and they see to which camp they belong as they open their mouths. No less complex is the political terrain, which is always in a state of permanent flux. As with the economy, society expects you to be in the know and to offer directional insights on the political trajectory. Well, we are the political actors, quite often writers of the political script which shapes the daily life of our nation. Your profession is to read and understand that script, which we do not always write legibly, so you can report and comment on it. From where I sit, I'm always fascinated and even amused by your attempts at reading and interpreting those politics we ourselves do. Some political issues you do report well, others with quite some dramatic imagination. All in all, I want to believe you do it all in good faith. Once there is purity of motive, which is to inform and serve the national interest, even lapses and failures, which are inevitable from time to time, will always have a ring of dignity and the gallantry about them. I am hopeful that after today's session and many more such sessions in future, the chasm between us as actors and you as observers and interpreters progressively narrows.
I need a bit of help here to understand you clearly. I know the whole country needs you to pronounce yourself clearly. You have said and you've restated this point that you leave when your term ends, or you know when you will leave, the day and time. But like my colleague here said, there's still a lot of confusion. There's the 2030, people were saying you should extend your term to 2030. Can you state and pronounce your position clearly for the whole nation, for the international community, for us, so that when we write our stories, we have the proper information? What is your opinion? When are you leaving, sir?
I thought you are putting it very clear. Very clear. That I have 2 terms, and these terms are very definite. And I'm so democratic. When they come to an end, I'll step aside and my party will elect my successor. That is as clear as day. Those who have other imaginations, it is a democratic society for people to dream. But facts will take today.
can you be persuaded, and will you be persuaded to serve beyond 2028?
I'll persuade the persuaders not to persuade me.
I need a bit of help here.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a headache trying to untangle that, you are not alone. It's the kind of sentence that would make even Shakespeare pause and say, "Come again?" On the surface, it sounds like resistance, but in reality, it's a non-answer wrapped in a riddle and sprinkled with just enough ambiguity to let his 2030 fan club keep their hopes alive. Because let's be honest, if Mnangagwa really wanted to shut this thing down, he would have simply said, "No, I'm not running again, stop it." But he didn't. Instead, he delivered a poetic dance of words, one that keeps the door ever so slightly open for the people to force him to stay. Oh, the struggle of being too beloved. And just in case you were still wondering whether this was a genuine declaration or just another act in the grand theater of Zimbabwean politics, ZBC quickly settled the debate. As Mnangagwa spoke about not extending his term, the ZBC ticker, the ultimate snitch, was boldly announced that the term extension bill will sail through Parliament. Yes, you heard that right. One mouthpiece of the regime was contradicting another in real time, proving yet again that in Zimbabwe, words mean nothing and actions mean everything. What's next? Will he claim his hand was forced, that he tried to stop them, but alas, the people demanded he stay? And you know the funny thing is, when the video went live, when the video was posted on X, on Twitter, the ticker was showing on the video. And later, all the videos that came out, the ticker had been blanked off. So you see, ZANU-PF is playing us here. It is playing us, for sure. This is classic Mnangagwa. He will say one thing and do another. Let the confusion simmer and then strike when people are least expecting it. The Geza revolution has clearly put him on edge, and he knows he needs to cool things down before making his next move. So what does a crocodile do when it senses danger? It pretends to be dead, lets the water settle, then snaps its jaws shut when the prey relaxes. Make no mistake, Mnangagwa is watching, waiting, and preparing. This press conference was not a reassurance. It was a strategy session disguised as transparency. For those still holding on to the illusion that he is stepping down peacefully, let's take a walk down memory lane. When has Mnangagwa ever willingly let go of power? This is a man who schemed his way to the top, elbowing out his own mentor in the process. And now we are supposed to believe he will simply pack his bags and leave when the time is up. Please. The script is written already. Wait for the right moment. Let Parliament handle the dirty work and then reluctantly accept the call to stay. It's the same old ZANU-PF playbook, just with new actors playing the same roles. So what should Zimbabweans do? Simple. Don't fall for it. The pressure must just stay on. The voices must get louder, and the momentum must not slow down. Mnangagwa may think he is controlling the game, but the people hold the real power. And if he thinks a few smooth words and a contradictory press conference will be enough to kill the resistance, he is in for a rude awakening. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and most importantly, stay subscribed to Zimwaves TV, because this is far from over.